Hi everyone, good evening and welcome to this video. In this video, I wanted to share some things that I have been reflecting on, and also I want to show you apparently my new style. I'm kind of laughing at it, but I think it's great. It's precious, and I'd like to commemorate this outfit for you and show you what's going on here because it's pretty amazing. In like a 1800s colonial homesteader kind of way. But I don't know if you saw the video, but I went up the mountain yesterday to visit my friend Ashley. I went to go see some stuff on her land about how she's doing water systems and plants and the whole thing. And maybe you saw the video, maybe you didn't. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, everyone. Hi, Belinda. Hey, Pete. Belinda, I've been thinking about you and just loving you so much. And I just wanted to tell you that. So anyways, hi, Michelle. Hi, love. So yesterday I went up the mountain. I climbed the mountain with the dogs and we went to go visit Ashley, and she was talking about what she was doing this summer, her upcoming course that she's offering, and just kind of opening this little window into the world of Ashley, who is someone who I love very, very much and who's probably actually influencing this style that in a second I'm going to stand up and show you what I'm talking about. But when we were talking, she was telling me about what she did this summer. Hey, Tammy. Hi. Kimberly, you saw it? Great. So, Ashley was talking about what she was doing this summer, going off and doing, like, she was teaching in the U.S. She was getting involved in these natural build projects in the U.S. And essentially, offline, she was telling me more about, like, the community that she's involved in. And I'm like, wow, you are literally hanging out with, like, some of the coolest people on the planet. These are, like, earthy people taking responsibility, building things, making things. There's all this like music and community and love and friendship and all these like gatherings where people are just doing really cool things and creating these really resilient lifestyles, growing food, that kind of thing. And I was thinking about this and reflecting about this, how these communities are thriving even while so many places in the world are boiling and people are boiling, and there's a lot of, maybe you're experiencing this, there's a lot of fighting, right? There's a lot of separation. And so I was really reflecting on this about how there are some people who are really caught up in the world, right? Where there's a lot of fighting and separation and people kind of taking sides and pitting against each other. And simultaneously in the world, there are also communities of people who are living in the solution, who are making cool things happen, who are making art and music and creative and all of these things. And so my reflection on this has just really been the importance of really, oh, hi, Jan. Hey, babe. Hey, Lorraine. Really paying attention to who are we hanging out with at these times? Who are we connected with? Who are we sharing energy with? And just recognizing that it's really important that we protect our energy. It's really important that we protect our energy in a lot of different ways. In fact, I've actually been really embracing the shift away from live videos. I'm doing a live video right now, but maybe you've noticed I started posting what I call static videos, pre-recorded content, which is actually how I started making videos 10 years ago when there was no such thing as live videos. So I've actually been finding that pulling back from live videos is actually a way that I'm protecting my energy, because Tulsi actually pointed out when I do these live videos, I enjoy it. It's fun. I love connecting with you. But a lot of times afterwards, there's like, I've taken on other people's energy. You know, I'm like, it's kind of like drinking out of a fire hose, you know, being exposed to other people's opinions and comments and, you know, judgments. You know, a lot of times people misinterpret or misunderstand who I am and then, you know, shoot projectile missiles of judgment based on their own projections. It's not good, it's not bad, but it does tax my energy and it has an impact on me, my well-being, my mental health. And so I've actually realized that this change could actually be good if it supports me to protect my energy in the different ways that I'm learning how to do that right now. So Amber, you say, this is why I'm a loner. I've been around people that are just draining and negative. So this is really important. So I don't know if you know this, if you've heard me say this, but I've actually been pulling back from a lot of the groups and things that I used to attend weekly. And that's because I've just been feeling this big shift and this need to kind of pull back. Not that anyone's doing anything wrong. I'm not upset with any, like, it's not that. It's just this feeling of like, I just kind of need to pull back and cocoon a little and be really selective about where I go when I leave the house. you know, Tulsi and I have such a sweet, beautiful nest here. We're so fulfilled that a lot of times it's like we don't even want to leave the house because we just have everything here. So, Alexa, stop. Thanks. So, I just wanted to remind you guys, Holly, I look fancy. It's the dry shampoo. I was literally like, I feel like I've been working on the farm all day. I've been working on the homestead all day. I can't even describe the places and the vortexes and just the things I've been involved in, gotten lost in and worked, and then let's prepare the meat for dinner, and like, so here, let's do the big outfit reveal. So apparently, full thing. When I was younger, I really identified more as a tomboy. I never really had a healthy understanding of masculine and feminine energies. And so in the process of finding myself when I was younger, you know, I really more identified with like a masculine energy. Neither good nor bad, neither right nor wrong. And as I've grown up, I've been especially in this past cycle, really like learning how to step into more feminine. So apparently these days, my style is really like 1800s homesteader. So I love this apron that I got. And here's one of the all cotton skirts I picked up in Pana. Here's an all silk natural fiber shirt I got in San Marcos at a clothing swap. And then this very dirty apron, which has gotten a lot of use, kind of goes over it all. And then I flit around feeling like a little farm lady, which I'm really enjoying. I'm really enjoying being here, creating my little bubble, now growing food, building the foundations of a healthy relationship and a future that we're really inspired by. First of all, Kimberly, let me know what you think of the colonial 1800s feminine homesteader style that apparently I am rocking hard right now and loving it. And then just coming back to this whole idea of like, you know, at these times, right, the world, there's a lot going on. It's like there's this war energy. People are fighting. You know, I'm hearing there's a lot of hatred and cruelty and just difficulty floating around, not just in the US, but in a lot of places around the world right now. Astrologically, it relates to Mars, the war, and there's Pluto, and there's Aries, and all this stuff is going on, and it's just historically fits the box of what's supposed to happen when the astrology is manifesting in such a way. So at these times, it's really important that we protect our energy and who we're engaging with, what, how. Yeah, Little House on the Little House in the Valley, Holly. Oh my God, that's perfect. Little House in the Prairie. By the way, I'm waiting for your messages. Are you withholding the messages to punish me? No, I'm joking. So not loving the anything. Great, Kathleen. Good thing it's not your body, it's mine. Yay. Isn't it amazing how we can also have different opinions and we don't have to convert or convince anyone in order to like come to our side and believe what we believe. And I think a lot of times people get caught up in this dance, which is really kind of an energetic dynamic of trying to control other people and what other people believe. And it's a waste of energy. If you find yourself caught in a cycle where you are getting anxious or upset about what other people think, say, or do, oh, babe, those are things you can't control. And the more we try to control things we can't control, it leads us to feeling more anxious, upset, angry, depressed. So I think a really important thing is just to recognize right now, like, are you trying to control the people that you're hanging out with? Are your relationships based in any way around control? Like, do you need other people to act a certain way? So we got a couple different themes and ideas kind of arising in this video. And I think it really boils down to a certain amount of discernment to be kind of aware of what are we doing? What are we feeding ourselves? How are we working with the energies of life? Are we just exposing ourselves openly and then getting into fights with people? Or are we being mindful about what we consume and expose ourselves to? And recognizing when we start to cottage core. Yes, Tammy. Cottage core. Flower power lady, Monica. Thank you. Thank you. You guys honor me. Thank you. God, I sound like my mother. You honor me. No, I love my mother. She's great. I'm very grateful for my mother. She did the best she could with what she had, just like everybody else did and is doing. So do you hang out with a high vibe tribe? People who uplift you, who value you, who want to hear from you, who aren't trying to change your beliefs, you know? I think that's what I really like about our high vibe tribe. This is the private subscription group that I have. Is it's like a really supportive community where there are no haters. Nobody's getting into fights. Nobody's like trolling. Nobody's putting negative comments. So I'm just curious, do you have places and spaces you can go, people you can call who are trustworthy, emotionally available, who are going to listen to you without telling you what to do? They might offer you advice if you want it, but they're not attached to whether or not you take their advice. These are called safe people. Unsafe people are people who push against you, your ideas, your desires, your thoughts, your feelings. They might invalidate how you feel or say you don't have a right to feel that way. You know, people who just want to pick apart what you do or find fault with what you do and don't really just give you the freedom to have your own experience. Those are unsafe people. I know, you just let them. Jan, oh my gosh, one of my next videos I want to make is about the let them theory. I'm listening to Mel Robbins' audiobook on Audible, which apparently is the #1 book on Audible right now because it's so powerful and it's resonating with so many people, because people trying to control other people is a really major problem right now. And it's a source of war, violence, separation, you know, a lot of anxiety. And so if we could kind of just focus on what we can control and actually kind of what's our right to control, which is ourselves. Our thoughts, sometimes easier to control than others. That's why we got to have a practice. Our emotions, right? What we do with our emotions. Whether or not we lash out and let ourselves pull ourselves back, right? So it's kind of like learning how to like take the reins of ourselves, right? Because sometimes we need to pull ourselves back. So these are things we can't control. You can't take someone else's reins though. You can't pull someone else back. You can't try to kick someone. We can influence, inspire, and try to motivate and prompt and work with others, but the other person has to be willing. If you want someone to change but they don't, like you don't have the right to change them. Even if it's a positive change, it's not your job. So, hi Annie. Hi guys. I love you. Oh, Kathy, I'm so glad you asked about my earrings. So these are part of my new little basket of treasures, which I have not put online yet. I haven't done anything with it yet, but I'm wearing them. These are my squirrels. I love them. It's part of my cottagecore vibe because I love squirrels. A couple different ways you could go with squirrels. One of them is the squirrely ADD person, but the other way of approaching and looking at the energy of the archetype of a squirrel is the fantastic treasures that are all around us right in our backyard, and that we actually don't have to go to an exotic place to find the magic. The magic's all around us. That's why Dorothy had, when she went on that big adventure, only to realize that she had the ruby slippers on the whole time, and there's no place like home. So, Roger, your cat's a good listener, by the way. Happy birthday yesterday, Roger. I love you so much. I hope you enjoyed my song. And yes, the cats are a good listener. Yeah, sometimes in these times, it's important that maybe we need to pull away from other humans and spend time with animals, spend time with nature. And that can be a way that we can kind of center, ground ourselves, slow down, balance our nervous system. And also put ourselves in a state where we can receive creative ideas and solutions, divine guidance. But it's hard to receive the answer when our mind is really busy and thrashing like a storm raging on an ocean. If there's a simple answer floating on a buoy, that thrashing storm is not going to make it accessible to you. So when we slow down and take care of ourselves and kind of pull back from the noise, and then you can receive that buoy. You know, still waters. There's a lot of magic that can happen in stillness, and our culture doesn't teach us that. So I'm here to be a voice, reminding you that there's magic in stillness. There's a benefit when we slow down and rest. And it's important, the choices that we make in terms of who we're hanging out with. And, you know, are we getting into arguments with people, or can we recognize when something isn't good for us and not try to change that person, but step back and maybe create a boundary that we want to limit how much we interact with that person because we can see that it's impacting our energy in a negative way. Nice, Kimberly. Squirrels are a thing between you and your daughter. That's great. You have a song about them. I want to sing a song about squirrels. Oh, Lord. Okay, so anyways, speaking of guarding our energy, taking care of our energy, I am doing my best right now to pivot and respond and with all these questions and things and changes with Facebook. I just want to let you guys know that I'm gonna keep making content. I'll always be making free content here on my page. I think I'm gonna be switching more to my pre-recorded static videos, which typically shorter, little bite-sized chunks where I try to talk about one thing and kind of hopefully give you something to think about or reflect about that will hopefully help you on your path of living your life's purpose. I'm also still going to do live videos. I'm still going to come on here and do live videos. Maybe you saw the news that live videos are going to be deleted after 30 days. It's not that big of a deal. And no, I'm not going to take all my old content and move it to YouTube or something. That's like thousands of hours of content, hundreds of videos, if not thousands of videos. And I was reflecting about it. How can I move forward in my story if I'm putting all of my energy into telling an old story that isn't really relevant anymore? So my plan is I'm going to download all of my live videos, and I have so many of them. I don't even know how big the file is going to be, but I can download them all. I'm going to save them on my computer, and then I am going to keep them. Hi, Miss Betty. I'm going to keep the live videos in an archive. I'm kind of like a historical database of my content, and it's not going to go back online unless I want to draw from a clip as I'm kind of making something. I have 10 years ago, I had an idea that one day I would do maybe like a sort of documentary about my journey over the past 10 years making content online. So I still kind of have that idea, even though it'd be like a lot of work and kind of intimidating and daunting. And I'm not even sure where to start or what story to tell. But I felt that way about my book for a long time, too. I had the idea for the book, Leaving America with Erica, for 10 years. And I really struggled with how it was going to come together, but it did eventually. So some live videos. I'm going to do my best to release a static video every day as best as I can. Live videos are going to continue in the High Vibe Tribe. We have our every Saturday morning, well, if I'm traveling, or sometimes we move it to another day, but weekly we're going to do a live video, which is one of the wisdom transmissions where we do a reading from one of my favorite books, Language of Letting Go. That's still part of the still and always will be part of the tribe membership. And then I'm also putting more effort into Instagram. So I'm making reels, I'm making little shorts, I'm making posts. For some reason, I share them and it goes to Facebook, but my personal profile, so I haven't. Anyways, the whole moral of the story is times are a-changing. Are you going to be empowered by these changes, or are you going to suffer because you don't like it and you'd rather keep it the way it was before, which is not possible? I know for me, I choose to be empowered by these changes. I choose to learn, to grow, and to allow myself to evolve as a content creator, as a woman striving to create harmony and balance in my life, in all areas of my life. And as a whatever else, fill in the blank. I'm pretty exhausted. I've used a lot of mental energy today, just going into visionary vortexes of planning and things. And so this is my kind of last thing before I kind of deactivate for the day. So change is good. You invite change. Yeah, great. Leah, you missed the weekly building updates. Well, the thing is we're not building right now, so there are no weekly building updates. And to be quite honest, I also have to share that, Tulsi and I in our relationship are really asking a lot of questions around how do we incorporate social media in our lives in a really healthy way that respects our privacy, our boundaries, and what's just really not public information. So he's expressed that he doesn't feel so comfortable, bringing the internet in our house and showing everything and showing around. And I get it. And I realized that I really needed some more protective boundaries around my life because honestly, I don't really want to share the personal details of my life with just anyone on the internet. So Nancy, no, I'm not leaving Facebook. I'm not leaving Facebook. My content remains free. And I am going to encourage you, if you want more content from me, if you want more of the personal, if you want to be in the inner circle, you can join the High Vibe Tribe. It's my subscription group. We have a lot of great stuff that goes on there. And above all, it's really a community of these really positive, uplifting people who are, on healing journeys. And it's so beautiful. We have our monthly Zoom call where we get together, we get face to face. We had an epic one that was almost 3 hours recently. It was unbelievable, but it felt like a potent group healing session. So it was great. We have a meditation call every month. I do my weekly live video, and I do a lot more. I'm doing more content there now, and inspirational posts and just uplifting environment. So Wesley, walking barefoot in the garden is a really great way to manage and stabilize and clear our energy. And so I just want to emphasize that it's really important right now in this time in the world when a lot of people are boiling and attacking and fighting and believing in an illusion of separation. I'm just going to remind you, just be that voice to remind you, please choose your friends wisely, choose your conversations wisely. Recognize if you're getting out of balance or if a person in your life, it's negative impact. It's not their fault. It's not bad, but just recognize it's not your job to change anyone. You can only change yourself. So, make good choices, kids. I hope you make good choices. Kenny, you were declined approval. So there is actually a process that you have to go through in order to join the High Vibe Tribe. And if you don't follow this process, you won't be allowed into the group. And that's part of how we keep the tribe safe, is we want to make sure that people who request to join the group are real people. They're not spam. They're not bots. We want to make sure that they've provided their personal information. They're signed up for the payment, right? And they're on the email list. You get the reminders about the calls and the things we do. And so if you don't complete those steps, then we're not going to let you in the group because you haven't followed instructions. So the instructions to join High Vibe Tribe are on my website. And I believe I've linked below. So you can, here, let me bring up that link, recently added link. So if you're curious, if you're interested, if you want to jump in, if you want to try it out for a month or two, come on in. The water's great. I'd love to have you. And I am really excited about something that I'm working on for the High Vibe Tribe right now in the background with my dear friend, Sherry Love, who is a powerhouse of manifestation magic. This woman is so high powered, so inspiring, talk about choose your people well. The more I choose to align myself with Sherry, the brighter and better my life gets. So Sherry and I are brainstorming right now about doing a manifestation magic 3-part series in the High Vibe Tribe, which will be free for everyone in the tribe. In order to access this group coaching container, you gotta be a member of the tribe. We're probably going to be launching it sometime next month-ish. We're working with a lot of the pieces right now to get everything really nicely organized and set up so it's done in a really good way. So just so you know, that's going to be something that's coming up in the tribe. And really, I just want it to be a space that's empowering, inspiring, and just leaves you feeling good and that you're on the right step, the right place in your path, that healing is possible, and that when we do it in community, it's actually better. So just remember that your community that you choose is so important right now. Because if you're watching this, you're probably a sensitive being and you're probably taking on more energy than you might realize. And so it's important that we learn ways to protect our energy, guard our energy, clean our energy, clear our energy, such that we're aligned with what's good, what's true, the light. We're not caught up in someone else's argument. We're not carrying someone else's cross, right? We're not, right? We're in energetic integrity. So just a reminder, because I've been thinking about this and I was kind of imagining what is the message I want to give people today. So there you have it. You heard it from 1800s colonial homesteader wifey type. Love it. I just love it. And I'm working for your good. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best to work for your good, for our good, shared good, mutual rising. Because I have this belief that together we rise, and when we work together, we can do more. So Tammy, thank you. Yeah, exactly. And I can't wait to have you in it. It's going to be really powerful, because what I realized is that, and this whole thing, as long as I'm putting my energy into telling an old story, how do I move forward in my life? So sometimes it's easy to get caught in a trap of telling the story of what happened. You know, you might still be hurt. You might be disappointed. You might be really frustrated about some things that happen that don't feel fair. And you know, it's important to talk about our feelings and our experiences and a process, but there comes a point when there's enough processing and we have to move forward by creating a new vision and by becoming as faithful to the new vision as we have been to telling the story of our trauma. So whether or not you join the High Vibe Tribe, whether or not you're part of this manifestation magic container with me and Sherry, I really want to encourage you also to vision what would a successful, beautiful life in 1 to 3 years look like for you? How would you feel during your days? What sort of things would you do? What sort of things would you not do? Because that's also really important information. How would you feel? What would you do? What would you have in this ideal version? Lauren, currently the fee is it's $19.99 to join the tribe. There have been times that we've done promos when I first launched it. I am not doing any of those anytime soon, but I think it's still a lot of value for what you're getting. So let's see. I am Nancy. That's great. 65 and still learning. Great, babe. May you always be learning. May you always be growing. May you always be taking risks in the direction of your heart, no matter what age you're at. And Miss Betty, yes, I'm so excited for the food we're growing. It's looking really good. And in fact, Tulsi has been amazing. You know, I'm watching this guy. I'm seeing how he acts. I'm seeing, you know, is he who I think he is? And thankfully, he's really impressing me. He's taken really good care. He's a great dog dad. He's a great plant dad. He's been taking really good care of the plants. He's also stepped up and started just actively taking more responsibility with the dogs, which has been really great. So I'm really pleased, and I'm excited about our future together. That's all I'll say for now. So Darby, has there always been a long and it's like, no, Darby. So there, Amanda and I, when we were working to build the High Vibe Tribe and how to do it, because it's all, we just made it ourselves. It's not something through Facebook. That's why we have our own series of steps you have to do to go through. We explored with my website, Squarespace, the option of having membership sites within Squarespace. And so that's where that log on thing came from. We never ended up building it because we just kept the High Vibe Tribe being a group on Facebook with a subscription process through PayPal. You can also use a credit or debit card, but it's done through PayPal. And so that, and then an email list through MailChimp. And so we have a few parts that fit together to make the whole thing work. Which is why we have to take people and make sure that they've successfully completed the steps in order to have a functional membership. Okay, guys. Yeah, Lisa, the love is so mutual. By the way, I love you, Lisa. I love you. I know, Dana, the picture with the dogs. I'm walking in town. I'm like, oh my God. It's like too cute. So cute. Thank you, Holly, again, for that picture. I really appreciated it. Okay, guys, speaking of managing energy, it is time for me to call it on this live video. And yeah, thanks, Annie. Yeah, I really appreciate you being part of the tribe. And if you're there and you know it, you put energy into it, you know that there's a huge benefit, you know. But again, it's reciprocity. You have to be there and contribute and show up to the calls. And when you do that, you can really receive a lot, you know. So, cool, guys. All right, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do tonight? So what are you going to do tonight to take care of yourself? Could you maybe turn off the phone for a couple hours before bed? Could you just maybe take a bath? In fact, I just made a post on my Instagram from my bath last night. It was actually kind of fun taking a bath and having my tripod and figuring out ways to make tasteful and modest shots of my bathing experience with the plants. So I made an Instagram post talking about the plants that I use, their medicinal qualities, and again, this theme of how do I take care of myself and manage my energy, especially during these challenging times. So just remember that when you take care of yourself, the people around you benefit, because when you are not well, when you're drained, when you're anxious, if you're feeling angry or discontent, the people around you, you better believe, are going to feel that and be impacted by that energy. But when your cup is full, when you feel at peace and at ease, the people around you also feel that, and they really benefit. So yeah. Oh, you're going over to your friend's house to eat cheesecake. That sounds great, Lorene. That sounds really great. You're getting some friendship medicine and some cheesecake medicine. I love it. Although it's important to remember, I like this example from Ayurveda. You know, the thing that you eat is not the problem. Sometimes it's how much of it. So my teacher, Ron, would say 1 cookie is a treat. 2 cookies is food. 3 cookies is poison. Tulsi and I definitely poisoned ourselves the other night when we made some cookies. We ate all the cookies and we felt it the next day. So don't for a moment think that I am like a perfect person who, you know, always makes the right choice and my actions are never out of alignment with the values that I speak, because that's not true. Sometimes I find myself doing things that's like, this is not aligned with your values, but I mean, that's part of being human. So this is also why we learn, I hope, to be really gentle and kind and loving with ourselves, especially when we disappoint ourselves and, you know, maybe don't make the right choice. There's no right choice. Yeah. Always stay tasteful. Yes, Miss Betty. I know, Miss Betty. Miss Betty. I'm doing my best to stay tasty. Full. Tasty full. Jeez. Okay, why don't we end? Let me show you actually Tulsi's painting that he was working on today. He's incredible. Look at this. Okay. So over here is his painting. So this is our little space here. And he has his painting set up. And let me clear this. So here's the lady. He's been painting this as long as we've been in a relationship. When we started dating, this was mostly an empty canvas, and it's really been coming a lot in a lot of ways. It holds the energy of our relationship. So today he worked on turning that into like a waterfall temple portal thing, but it lines up with the geometry here. It's really just kind of wild. And down here we've got the temple and the dragon. I insisted that he take out the ugly, weird hummingbird that was there. That was just, it needed work. Cookie shenanigans, Roger. Exactly. So that's cool. Okay. Let's go back on this way. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. You know, I saw in the comments, someone was saying, you know, the United States is pretty bad right now. First of all, I don't actually know what's going on. I don't live there. I live in a little mountain village. I don't watch TV. And nobody here is really talking about it because we're living in a tiny village and we have different things that are in our faces here. So I do really care for you guys a lot, and I know a lot of people are going through really hard times, which is why I'm trying to make this content to remind you and kind of send a life raft in your direction to help you rise above what's happening, right? And oh no, there's no criticism, Jerry. And someone's comment was, you don't know what's happening and breathing is not enough. And my feeling when I saw that comment is like, yes, but it's the place to start. Coming back to your breath is the first place to start, to come to your center, to relax, to recognize when you're about to say something you might regret and pull yourself back. So breathing is not the only answer, but it is a really important part of the answer. So I'll just leave you with that. Great, Kim, great. Things are great in the US. Awesome, great. Everyone's having their own experience. So don't assume that anyone is having your experience or anyone knows what your experience is unless you actively communicate that. And Kim, I think that you are really pointing out a really great point that ties into this whole concept of the video of be mindful of the company you keep, choose your friends wisely. If you hang out with people who are stuck in complaining, comparison, you know, there's always a problem. They're always in a fight. There's always some victim story. They're always blaming someone else, right? There's always something to be afraid of, right? Like, that's going to create an experience, United States or otherwise, that can be very dark and chaotic and difficult and challenging and hard and scary. But if you keep company with people like we were talking about with Ashley yesterday, the natural building community, where they're making things, they're growing food, there's dancing, there's music, there's song, you better believe that you're going to have an experience that's very different from the first one that we just talked about. Yeah, Dana. So exactly. So also part of this recognizing what's good for you and what's not, maybe that also means stepping back from watching the news and mainstream media. I don't watch any TV. I don't have a TV. I just want you to understand, nobody around me has a TV. Nobody around me watches TV. So just imagine that for a second. If there was no TV, no one around you is watching TV, you're spending most of your time outside doing things, engaging in things, creating things, getting excited about projects and things that are calling to you, making plans for the future. Again, using that energy to kind of manifest and tune in. What is your future vision? And then work and live in that solution. Your life is going to look very different. So I just want to, again, remind you that you have power to choose. You don't have power to fix it, but you do have power to make choices. You can choose what time in the morning you wake up and whether you give yourself time alone to pray, meditate, do some kind of exercise, and take care of yourself in the morning before you start taking care of others. That's a really great thing you have a choice over. You have a choice over what you watch on TV, what you watch on YouTube, the videos that you consume, the music you consume. You got a choice of that. You have a choice of whether you consume alcohol. You have a choice over the substances, the foods, the things that you put in your body. Is it processed? Is it sugar, right? I know for me, if I eat white sugar, if my partner eats white sugar, things don't go well. So we don't eat white sugar. In fact, we have removed, I would say all of it, but I did find some of my Polish candy and I just, in the closet, and I just scooted that towards the back. Okay, so I do have a couple pieces of candy left in the house, but like emergency candy, you know what I mean? You gotta have your emergency candy, because what if, you know. So yeah, just a reminder, I'm just handing you your power back. That's all we're doing here. Yet again, I'm here to remind you just to hand your power back. All the places you might have given it away, I'm just gonna take it and I believe this is yours. I think you should use this and not give it to someone else. Here, take it back. All right, guys, I love you so much. Shout out to the High Vibe Tribe members. I love you guys so much. Thank you for saying yes to the possibility of an uplifting, positive space where we really support each other to rise. I really love you guys and I appreciate you so much, and really grateful to have a safer space to be able to share more intimate things that are really not really necessarily relevant or appropriate or helpful to share with like just everybody on the internet. Because I don't know if you've noticed, there are a lot of haters and bad energy. Yes, special candy for a special occasion. Oh, hey, Kendall. Hi, love. Yeah, tough in nature, but moving forward. Yeah, just about to quit your stale job. Oh, a new position as a tea brewing partner with amazing mentor. That's amazing. Talk about associating yourself. You quitting something that's not good for you and associating yourself with a mentor who can teach you and help you to level up. That's great. Yeah, babe. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, guys, I love you all so much, and I appreciate you being here. I know we're all doing the best we can right now amidst big energies, intensity, aggression, difficulty, illusion, trying to make sense of really an ever-changing reality with so many variables and so many complexities and so many factors. So there's no one size fits all, but there are some kind of general principles that we can lock into that can help us if we move in that direction. So someone had asked, if you want to see the bathtub post on my Instagram, what's my Instagram? It's my name, Erica Derrickson. It's this name, Erica Derrickson. Same as my Facebook page. You can go to Instagram, find me there, follow me there. There's different content now being shared on Instagram than Facebook. So a lot of like short videos with inspiring reminders and posts to, just to help you fill up your cup so you can live your life's purpose, because that's why we're here. Okay? Dina, I appreciate you too. I appreciate all of you. Oh, and then last thing, while we're here, and Tammy, you're here, we have an upcoming retreat in the United States this summer in Colorado in September. So the information is actually living on Tammy's website, tamlint.com. And we are opening, we're open for registration. There are a limited number of beds. We have a few private rooms that you can grab if you don't want to share a room. We're only having 2 women share a room, only women on this retreat. And it's going to be great. It's going to be inspiring, uplifting, and it could be exactly what your soul needs. So tune in if it feels right. You can jump on. We still have time, lots of time to set up payment plans. And just know it's there if you want it. So I love you. Thanks, guys. Have a beautiful evening. May the forest be with you. And remember, a breath is not going to solve your problems, but it's certainly a great first step in a better direction.